Is Zach Wilson a bust?
Yes.
That's his mom saying yes.
Yes.
Is Zach Wilson a bust? In case you didn't hear the news, Zach Wilson tore up his knee over the weekend. Looks like he's going to be out a minimum of 2 to 4 weeks. He is scheduled to have an arthroscopic knee procedure in Los Angeles today. Looks like he got off easy, though. By all accounts, he has a bone bruise, and he needs to trim some meniscus in his right knee, which is not a huge procedure. That could be a month. But here's a question. If you're a fan of the Jets, Jets, are you at all confident that Zach Wilson is the guy that's going to lead this franchise back to the Super Bowl? No, he's not. Now you have to wonder. And I look at Sam Darnold. He's in Carolina. I look at all of your previous quarterbacks. Ken O'Brien ain't walking through that door anytime soon. The Jets are the frickin' Jets. And this is incredible. And we talk about this a lot on the show, quarterbacks in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And this situation with Zach Wilson is almost scripted. You go in there and you replace Darnold, and everybody's like, okay, this is the guy. Look at the year he had at BYU. You draft him number 2, happy forehead, huge face, crypto paycheck guy. Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville is a complete scrub.
Right.
The Jags suck. Urban Meyer's feeling up some chick in his bar. Like, it's amazing. And then Zach hurts his knee. And then he misses a considerable amount of time last year. And, but he had a great offseason. Banging his mom's friends. Like, everything's great. Like, Zach Wilson's headed in the right direction.
Right.
And now his quite literally his first chance to win the job and take over the franchise. He plays hero ball because why were you running in the first place, Zachy Poo? Plays hero ball, hurts his knees, out a month. You can't tell me I'm the only one asking if Zach Wilson's a viable NFL quarterback.
That's out of the window.
He's got a lot of questions to ask and answer now. And I just don't know that he can do it. Honest to goodness, I don't know that Zach Wilson's ever going to be a productive NFL quarterback. The injuries now, multiple years with multiple knee injuries, now it's becoming a thing.
Right.
And if I'm the New York Jets, now I'm starting to question my sanity because I'm all in on Robert Saleh. I'm all in. I think he is a fantastic head coach. All gas, no break, bro.
Right.
Like, he's got the sweatshirt. He's got the hat. Saleh this, Saleh that.
Saleh your mom.
My all this and that.
Right.
Like, I'm all in.
We get it.
All gas, no break.
Right. Yeah.
Let's get down. Right?
All gas, no break.
Now you got to go find a quarterback. Oh, good news. Joe Flacco's on the roster.
Okay.
Good luck. Another lost season for the Jets. That's what this feels like.
Yes.
And I understand why you took Zach Wilson there.
Mm-hmm.
And as somebody that watched pretty much every minute and every snap of his college career up close and personally, he looked like a guy. But hasn't Tyler Huntley been a better quarterback as a backup? And now Trevor Lawrence looks like a guy that's a more productive, willing, and able NFL quarterback than Zach Wilson.
No, it's funny what happens when your head coach isn't in a bar, groping a woman.
Yeah, tickling the fish, you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Isn't that where we're at with this now? I have real concerns for Zach Wilson's viability as an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, and I think there was an expectation. Like, I think this is the expectation that NFL fans have had, for several years. I mean, going back through all those names you just listed, it's no surprise when these guys struggle when they play for the Jets. Then they go to another situation and they look better. Like Sam Darnold certainly hasn't been a world beater for the Panthers, but he went to that situation and he looked better. And now you've got Baker breathing down his neck and probably taking his job, but that's no surprise to me. I'm a big Baker guy, if you can't tell. Oh, Baker's not on the shot today. Well, my bad.
No, Baker's there he is.
He's right here.
There he is.
But, I think that the thing with Zach is that you're going to an organization.
Excuse me, Zachy Poo, please.
The thing with Zachy Poo is that he's in a bad situation. They're not a good team. He doesn't have resources around him to put him in a position to be successful, and that was the difference. I've never been a huge fan of the term system quarterback. I'm not sitting here saying that you have to have some great system to be successful in the league. But what I do think you need is quality coaching. What I do think you need is quality talent around you that does their damn job. Like, catch the football when you should, be in the right spot, like all those little things that allow Zach Wilson to put up some numbers. That's the thing. So it's a shame that he tore up his knee like that, but I have to agree. This is the same logic with Jaron Hall. You shouldn't be out there running your ass off. Just get the next 4 or 5 yards, man.
He should not have run that football.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the best parts. Let's get your thoughts in here. Morning, guys. As always, thanks for great content every morning. Love the show. B. Davey says, appreciate that.
You.
Flathead with a thumbs up. Justin Sal says, tough to say he's a bust. I think it's a team issue rather than a player issue. Zach is a better player if he gets drafted to the Patriots. But the problem is he didn't get drafted to the Patriots, who, by the way, don't have an offensive coordinator right now. We've got to stop with I think a lot of people like that excuse. The player has to be the very best version of himself. Zach Wilson has had 2 now significant issues with his knee.
Yeah.
Anytime you're going to open up that knee, I'm telling you, it's a bad thing. I'm a guy that believes when quarterbacks get hurt early in their career, they're going to get hurt their entire career. Baker Mayfield is a perfect example of that. And I think that Zach Wilson is a guy, the Jets are not the problem when you're out of the pocket playing hero ball, and then it's a non-contact injury.
Yeah.
That's a you problem, Zach. And I think Zach has to learn to be a throw-first quarterback in this league. You cannot continue to run outside the pocket and think you're not going to get hurt.
Physiologically, it's a non-starter.
I say again, at what point does Zach Wilson stand in the pocket, deliver the football to win you a game? Because I don't know why he feels that need.
Yeah, I think the tough part is when you don't have great protection, you're forced out a lot, and that's kind of where I come down on the whole Jets not being a good team, and that affects Zach. Like, I totally agree. And like I was just saying, like, Zach's got to stop running and playing hero ball. Completely agree.
Yes.
But at the same time, the other side of that conversation is, what is he supposed to do when the protection's constantly breaking down? And that's what's tough. Like, you're out there competing, trying to win football games, but you don't have a good offensive line, so you don't have your 3 seconds in the pocket. He's probably got 2.5 seconds maybe before the defense is breathing down his neck. Then you combine that with the fact that he doesn't have a great wide receiver core, so he's working with not great assets. Now, again, those are excuses. Totally get it. You shouldn't have been running, but I'm just telling you, if he gets to, and inevitably he will get there, he will get traded, or he'll play out the contract and then someone else will sign him. He'll get to another team, and he'll probably look a lot better. The only question that remains is he going to do that as a starter or as a backup?
See, I don't agree with you at all. I don't think we're looking at a situation where he's going to get bounced out of there. I mean, I think they have to go all in on him. So, I mean, you're not in a position where, as Fat Jesus says, that Zach can be getting a lot of physical therapy from his mom's best friend. I just don't think you're in that kind of...
It's not the best situation, and we all know that.
And I understand that's HIPAA, but my point is... Dak?
I think that's HIPAA.
Thank you. I understand that's HIPAA, but my point is, at some point, they've got to put him... And I think when a guy's getting hurt and he's constantly injuring his knee, it's difficult to do. I get it. But you've got to put him in a position where he makes or breaks. And you've got to do everything you can do to do that.
But this is the Jets we're talking about.
Right, but
this isn't some great organization.
Right, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're doing the best that they believe they can do.
But how does that measure up to Zach? Okay, so the Jets are doing the best that they can do, but that's not like that. That doesn't help Zach be a better quarterback. That doesn't, like, you can't, like, look at, everyone likes to use Patrick Mahomes as an example. Patrick Mahomes was able to sit behind Alex Smith and really learn, and now you see what he's become. Zach doesn't have that opportunity, and that's why I say, I get it. Like, talking about him leaving the Jets and him getting bounced, yes, it's premature. Absolutely.
But when do you see a guy leave a team and get better? You don't see that. You don't see Josh Rosen do that. You don't see Sam Darnold do that. You don't see Marcus Mariota do that. You don't see guys bounce around the league and magically become all pro. That doesn't happen. Guys have the goods right out of the gate, or they don't. I am a big believer in I look at Jordan Love in Green Bay. He was a bust from the second they drafted him. It's just that simple. It's very rare that you get an Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre situation. It is very rare. I think the most common situation is Tom Brady. He got a shot. He kicked ass. Drew Bledsoe had to move on.
Yeah, but Tom Brady got to sit behind Bledsoe for a minute and learn.
Right, but what does that matter? Tom Brady was given the football. He came in, and he was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL from the minute he took his first snap as a pro.
But why is that? We can't just skip over that.
Because he's
Aaron
a really
Rodgers,
good quarterback.
Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. What's the common theme? They all got to sit behind someone and learn.
Yeah, I don't think that matters. Jordan Love sucks as an NFL quarterback. In today's world, when you're paying these guys the money you're paying them, you don't get to let them sit on the bench for several years. It just doesn't work that way. Wow. It doesn't work that way.
There has to be a middle ground of some variety.
But there's not.
Well,
but again, I'm sorry to break it to you. That's not the way the NFL works. There's a reason the Ravens are not giving Lamar Jackson that quarterback contract. There's a reason. They know. They know. And you know what they know? He's not a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. Lamar Jackson, sorry to break it to you guys, Lamar Jackson is not a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. So no, the Baltimore Ravens should not pay him. And furthermore, if you evaluate him as less than a Super Bowl quarterback, hell no, you should not pay him. If you look at the AFC East on its own, there's one guy in that division. One guy. And his name ain't Tua Tagovailoa, your dad slapped you because you sucked at quarterback. It's Josh Allen. That's it. He's the guy. Because can you really tell me Mac in New England is the guy? No, he's not. He doesn't have an offensive coordinator. Right? You look at that division. Is it Zach Wilson? Certainly not. Is it Mac Jones? Not yet. Is it Tua Tagovailoa? Certainly not. Right? Go division by division. Look at the quarterbacks. How's Mitch Trubisky doing for the Bears? He's doing great for the Steelers. Look at Justin Fields. Look at Justin Fields. Justin Fields is not a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. It's just not. You can look at that guy and you can tell. Look at my guy, Justin Herbert, Super Bowl caliber quarterback. I can go up and down the starters in this league, and you can tell me right now here today, Super Bowl caliber quarterback or not. Right? Joe Burrow, Super Bowl caliber quarterback or not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is, obviously.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I guess not.
Is he? I'm telling you he's
the problem is what's not been said is who they're going to go and get.
Well, Kyler Murray, Super Bowl caliber quarterback or not?
No, obviously not. Not even close.
So what did the Cardinals do?
They signed him.
To a massive contract that had a clause in it about watching video.
Who are they going to get?
This
is the conundrum.
God, this is the problem with football and bad football teams. The Chicago Bears, none other than. Well, he's not good, so let's go get another crappy quarterback. Right? That's the problem. Mac Jones at least has the opportunity to become a really good quarterback. You're replacing Tom Brady. You're never living up to that bar. Right? So what did Tampa do? Tampa didn't want Jameis Winston, so they went and got Tom Brady. You went and got him. Somebody could have had Aaron Rodgers. Anybody could have had Justin Herbert. If you need a quarterback, you probably need to draft one. Or if you're the Tampa Bay Bucks, you go and sign the best available. Right? Nobody went and got Aaron Rodgers. Aaron probably didn't want to leave Green Bay. I'm telling you, man, you can look at a guy. If he's scared, Zach Wilson is not scared. He just doesn't make good decisions. I don't know what's worse. Do you want a guy that's scared or a guy that makes terrible decisions? I have no idea. But anyway, my point is, no, I would not pay Lamar Jackson. I absolutely would not pay Lamar Jackson. I would not. Jason Dent says, I agree with Monty. You're either good or you're not, right out of the gate. Bobby Santiago says, exactly. Sitting behind a proven veteran helps a lot. Oh, I think it absolutely helps a lot. How many teams are in that position to do that? How many teams can afford to pay two quarterbacks on their roster? Two starting caliber quarterbacks. By the way,
but you're paying them but you're not paying two for full price. That's not the point. You're paying a rookie on a rookie deal.
Do you understand how much rookies make?
No, I guess
rookies
not.
make a ton of. I'll look it up for you. Rookies are not cheap, man. Rookies are not. The NFL wage scale is crazy.
Yeah. Look, man, all I'm saying is that like you're sitting here trying to dictate that, hey, you're either a have or a have not, and I'm sitting here telling you that it's funny how most of the haves, have someone that they can learn from. They have someone that can teach them how the league works and what to look for and the little things and what to read and what not to read, and it's funny how those guys seemingly have a bunch of success. That's all I'm saying. So when we sit here and say, oh, well, is Zach a bust or not? I don't think he's a bust. He's playing for a dog crap organization. Like there's like put Joe Burrow in a Jet uniform. You really think he's gonna do what he did in a Jets uniform that he did for Cincinnati? Hell no, dude. No way.
No, because Cincinnati was talented. But I also think I'm not paying Kenny Pickett $14 million to sit on the bench and learn. From who? Right? That's the problem. You look at these guys. Look at the Jags. Trayvon Walker is getting a $24 million signing bonus.
Mm-hmm.
He better be good right out of the gate. Look at Aiden Hutchinson with the Lions. $23.15 million signing bonus. He had a great debut for the Detroit Lions. You feel good about that guy, right? Look at Darryl Stingley making $22.3 million with the Texans. You can't afford the guys on the bench. I mean, you're talking about best case scenario. Wow, man, Jordan Love. Jordan Love sucks. Jordan Love is never going to be a starter. They do not have a replacement for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. They don't. They don't. Right? Like, that's why guys like Chase Daniels Chase Daniel has a job in this league because he's a solid backup quarterback. That's what you need. You need one guy that's your guy. Why can Josh Rosen not back up, verticality in Arizona? Because you don't want Josh Rosen staring at Kyler Murray. Right? Like, anyway, we could go on and on. Cam Harrison says Justin Fields compares Chicago Bears wide receivers, quote, they would have made 6th string at Ohio State. Probably. I'm not saying the Bears are good. I'm not saying the Bears are good at all. Not even a little bit. Let's see. Justin South says, this is silly. You think if Tom Brady was drafted higher up to a team like the Jets or any other sucky team, he starts his rookie year, he is going to be the same player? I don't think so. It was a different era in the NFL. He wasn't making $24 million. He wasn't. But why do you think Trevor Lawrence started last year? Why did Zach Wilson start last year?
But you're already seeing, like, Trevor Lawrence to me is a good example. You're already seeing the difference in situation with between Urban and Peterson. You're already seeing that, hey, you've got a better coaching staff, a better environment, a more professional environment, a better culture that's helping you. And that's my thing with Zach. Like, I think it's definitely, you have to ask the question, is he a bust or not? I definitely think it's appropriate to ask the question, but I think it's early to say that he is, because this is like Jared Butler for the Utah Jazz. Jared Butler is 20 games away from being a bust. I'm just telling you right now.
Oh, he's never going to be a bust. He was drafted in the 40s in the second round.
Okay,
or whatever.
So if you're drafted late and you suck, that means you're not a bust.
I think if you're drafted in the lottery, the NBA is totally different.
I know it's different, but the point I'm trying to make here is that situations matter. It absolutely matters, and so does how much you get paid.
I don't think anybody's arguing that. But the days of Joe Montana and Steve Young are over. You're not having those. There's not a quarterback situation like that in the NFL. I mean, there's just not. Josh Allen's a stud because Josh Allen's a stud. And if Trevor Lawrence works out, it's because you have a guy that's talented who persevered. Those are great traits in a quarterback. I just don't see it in Zach Wilson. I don't. He was phenomenal in college, and I know it's sacrilege in this state to say that he's a bust or whatever. I don't see the talent level. I don't see the execution level. I don't see a guy that wants to stand in the pocket and throw the football. I don't. And if you're going to run around this league, there's no better example of this than Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray is a much better quarterback than Zach Wilson. Kyler Murray is not a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. He's not. You can't have Kyler Murray stand in the pocket and deliver the football. You can't have a guy like Lamar Jackson. He won't stand in the pocket and deliver the football. Look at his highlight tape. There's either all runs or dying ducks thrown over the middle that are softly caught by a tight end. Like, you're not a star. Steve Peterson says, Steve Young behind Montana. There's a lot of QBs who backed up Hall of Fame QBs learning from them, and the teams didn't lose a step. Okay, find me any situation that's even remotely comparable to Steve Young and Joe Montana. I mean, even a little, just the tip. Like, just even remotely like that. I can't think of one either because there's not. There's not. Like, look at Trey Lance. Anybody think Trey Lance? You've seen Trey Lance as the starter now.
Yeah, I think we can say Trey Lance is a bust. Like, you can say that. He's got good coaching. He got to sit behind someone, and he's not there.
You're going to find out right now because he's the starting quarterback in San Francisco. And they're going to trade Jimmy Garoppolo. That might be as close as you're going to get in this league. But I don't see another situation where it is even at all. Like, there's no such thing as Steve Young and Joe Montana.
Mm-hmm.
That's Steve, you ready? With all due respect, you can't compare the 80s to the 2020s. That doesn't work. Tanner says you don't have to sit behind an elite QB in order to become elite. Matt Stafford and Joe Burrow comes to mind. Matt Stafford. Well, but that's my argument. Like, Joe Burrow is elite because he's elite. Matt Stafford was good from the drop. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like Donovan McNabb, who Tanner mentions here. Donovan McNabb was a mediocre quarterback from the minute he picked up a football. He was never going to be the reason any team that he was on, including the beloved Philadelphia Eagles, won a Super Bowl. But was he the reason they lost? Yeah, he was. Yes, he was. Donovan McNabb was a mediocre quarterback. Yeah. So, Donovan McNabb was not a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. He was not. Sorry. Hate to break it to you. Is Lamar Jackson good for the Baltimore Ravens? I don't know. Not my idea. Yeah, I don't.
I just don't know. My only thing here is, okay, cool. Give Lamar the bird. See ya. Okay, great. Who are you going to replace him with? Who's better?
That's your job. That's your job. As a general manager, that's your job.
Wow.
To go and find a quarterback. That's your job.
But I think it's easy. But it's easy to say that.
Matthew,
come on, man.
Look at Matthew Stafford. I don't know why you get so upset about stuff like this. I've never understood this about you. This is not rocket science. Was Jared Goff good enough?
No.
So what did they do?
They traded him
for
Matthew Stafford, which is different.
How is that different
than just letting Lamar go? Right?
No, it's not different. Yeah, Jared Goff, who wasn't good enough to win a Super Bowl, so you went and got a guy who won you a Super Bowl. It doesn't matter if you let him walk away or trade him. Trade him. If Lamar Jackson's not your guy and you're not going to sign him, trade him. You have complete control over him. Complete. He'll play on the tag. Like, you have complete control over him in the NFL. Trade him. Do what the Rams did. I mean, there's only two routes. You either go and get a guy or you draft a guy. Either way, that's your job. So you can be frustrated with it. It's fact. Look at teams that win Super Bowls. What did the Bucs have with Jameis Winston? Nothing. So what did they do? They went and got Tom Brady. What did the Rams have with Jared Goff? Nothing. So they went and got Matt Stafford. You either have the guy or you don't. Arizona doesn't have the guy. They just don't. I'm telling you, in my opinion, San Francisco doesn't have the guy. Seattle, and this is the amazing part about Russ, Seattle didn't have any issue at quarterback until they couldn't get along. So what did Denver do? They didn't want Drew Lock anymore. So you know what? They went and got Russell Wilson, who's the guy. Now, is he still the guy? We'll find out in Denver this year. But you can look across the league. Look at the Las Vegas Raiders with Derek Carr. Is Derek Carr the guy? I don't know. He's been good, but he hasn't been great. Well, now you've got a pretty good team around him. You've got the best offensive coordinator in the National Football League right now today. You just hired him as your head coach. Is he going to be Andy Reid or is he going to be just another guy? I don't know. We'll find out, but I'm guessing that Derek Carr is the guy under McDaniels, and I think they will win. So it is what it is. Let's see. Justin Saul says, here was what all these great QBs had, good defenses and good running games. I mean, look at Mark Sanchez. Guy looked solid until the defense and running game went away. Well, Mark Sanchez, another guy who could not stand in the pocket and deliver the football. Another guy who panicked. And where did Mark Sanchez go? Nowhere. I mean, I look at teams. Now, what makes great quarterbacks great? Usually they're on a team that has a pretty good defense.
Right.
LA Rams, Tampa Bay Bucks, Chicago Bears, like you name teams that had average quarterbacks, what did they all have? Elite defenses. But if you look at the best quarterbacks and the best defenses together, the Rams are the perfect example of this. The Bucks are the perfect example of it. When they won the Super Bowl, they had a tremendous defense.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It is very rare that you can have a crappy quarterback and a crappy defense and end up in the Super Bowl. That almost never happens. And it's very rare, frankly, you have a crappy quarterback and you end up in the Super Bowl. There are very few examples of that. Trent Dilfer comes to mind. There are very few examples of that. Let's see. Tanner Plummer says, true Steve Peterson, but that's not the only path to a quarterback. Okay. Cam Harrison, I think I read that one already. Kenai Johnson says, Aaron Rodgers had Brett Favre to watch and learn. Okay. A Joe D run organization is not a dog crap organization no longer. Okay. Steve Peterson says, Tanner, I agree completely, but it hasn't happened many times it has happened many times in this league. The thing I'm trying to understand is why can people not get out of the 80s? Like this argument is the 80s and some of the 90s.
Right.
That's not what this league is anymore. That's just not what this league is. You can't keep comparing Steve Young and Joe Montana. I know he's a BYU guy and you'll never say two bad words about him, but Steve Young also didn't want to play in certain places, right? So San Francisco made a choice, but the salary cap was completely different. The salary situation was completely different, totally different. J-Rod gives us a $5 tip. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Riley O'Brien says Monty is preaching. Was elated with Matthew Stafford proving himself a Super Bowl winning QB last season. Can the Rams repeat? Well, not if his elbow's in two pieces.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, they have a tough situation.
All I'm
there.
saying is I'm not even particularly annoyed with the whole conversation. What annoys me is that it's not like for me, and again, you're gonna say that I just don't get it or whatever, but for me, what I'm never gonna get down with is hey, well, this guy is playing for he's in an awful situation in an organization, again, here we go, with all due respect, that hasn't been good in how long? Like that's the only thing I struggle with. Like again, I get it. Like you think I'm annoyed or whatever, but I'm not really that annoyed. My main point here is that don't tell me Zach Wilson is a bust yet. Ask the question, yes, but we can't definitively say that Zach Wilson is a bust yet because of the situation he's in. I do agree. It's very rare that quarterbacks go to another team and they succeed. That is 1,000% true. But if Zach Wilson had the goods and was playing for the Jets, what would that look like? Would that just look like, hey, he's delivering the football and his guys are dropping it, or I don't know what that looks like in the league. Is there an example of that? Hey, a guy has the goods, but he plays for some terrible team, so it's just not. They're just not going anywhere. Is that because like Herbert and the Chargers went somewhere. Like they were again Lamar, right? They played Lamar. Like they had that matchup, You look at these guys right now who are names and who were drafted like the Joe Burrows of the world, obviously had huge success and had a great culture and a great defense, as we were just talking about. So that's why I say, like, again, the guys who are dominating the league right now, a couple of them had people to sit behind, but most of the time, you're right. They either have it or they don't. My problem with Zach is he plays for the Jets. The Jets are not a good organization. He doesn't have much to work with. So what is he left to do? I guess make better decisions, right? But that's easy for us to say when we don't have some linebacker chasing us, So that's why I say I think it's just difficult. I wonder what Zach would be in a better situation. That's what I wonder.
I don't know. I mean, if you go back and look at the history of Jets quarterbacks, I mean, it's not great. Your Josh McCowns of the world, your Ryan Fitzpatricks of the world, your Ken O'Briens of the world. Like, I'm not saying the Jets are a good situation at all. What I'm telling you is you can't throw 9 touchdowns and 11 interceptions in 13 games and call that good.
You're listening to The Monty Show, my favorite peeps. I'm Devery Davis with the Davis Lending Team, powered by Academy Mortgage. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, you don't know what you're doing, you bought multiple homes, second homes, investment properties, multifamily, we've got you covered. Our office consists of everybody it takes to do your loan, from processing to underwriting to doc departments. We do it all right here. We're not waiting on Tucumcari or Walla Walla, Washington to answer an email. We take care of it here. The housing market's changed. Prices are dropping. It's the greatest time to buy a house. There's no such thing as a dumb question. If you have any questions, you give me a shout. I'll walk you through it. Have a great day. Tell my money guys I said what's up.
Yeah, and I think that's fair criticism.
You can't.
I think it's fair criticism. Like, that's a good example. Hey, like his touchdown interception ratio, if he had the goods, would be a lot better. Like maybe what it would be is, hey, you threw, 11 touchdowns and had 2 interceptions, but your completion percentage was terrible because your guys were dropping it constantly. I don't know, but that's kind of what I'm trying to lay out.
I think if Zach Wilson doesn't make it this year, he's going to be a wasted quarterback in the league. I mean, he will be a guy that'll bang around as a number 2, and he is probably not going to have a great shot anywhere else. I look at Sam Darnold again. You're getting beat out by Baker Mayfield right now. I mean, you're legit. But I also believe that USC doesn't put out good quarterbacks. I mean, you can go back to Mark Sanchez. I mean, Carson Palmer's the last good one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I look at Sam Darnold. I just don't. I've never thought the goods were there. Never. I look at Zach Wilson. I have not seen it. Even in his games last year, he was dominant for one season at BYU, and it was magical, dude. It was what he did was, man, and he got paid for it, and yeah. I'm thrilled for the guy. But I don't see a route in this league where you can be a mediocre quarterback and then go on and become a superstar. It just doesn't happen.
And so you think that Zach is closer to mediocre than closer to being a franchise guy?
I don't think he'll ever be a franchise quarterback. Now. One, the injuries, the knee injury is a big deal.
Yeah,
it's a big deal. Obviously he dodged a big bullet here. It is he just needs to trim meniscus. If you're just tuning in, the update on Zach Wilson is he'll have his knee scoped today in Los Angeles. And it looks like the diagnosis is a bone bruise and a meniscus repair. Mm-hmm. And I should say a trim. So basically, do you guys know what meniscus is? It's a pad that basically is a shock absorber in your knee. It's like a sponge. And when you use a sponge too long, it starts to fray. That's what happened. Zach Wilson pinched off, and with that knee, his knee banged together when he went to cut. It essentially left a fragment of his meniscus that's sticking out now outside of the capsule, and so they have to go in and shave that piece off.
Yeah.
It is not a major, when it comes to meniscus issues, it's not a major issue. That bone bruise, and anytime you go in there with a blade, it's a major thing. He is going to be less mobile because of it.
Yeah.
And now, the other thing that I think a lot of people don't talk about is when you go in and disrupt your knee capsule, your knee joint, now it's never going to be as stable as it once was. And he's going to have to rehab that, and now he's going to have to come back on another knee injury.
Yeah.
Second knee injury. He missed 4 games last year. Now he's going to miss the entire preseason heretofore. And, I mean, there's a chance he could be ready for opening day, for week 1. Joe Flacco is probably your starting quarterback for the Jets. Just another missed opportunity. And, yeah, sure, he's getting paid. And, I mean, it's awesome he got there and he was drafted number 2. That's awesome. But to me, he's probably just going to bang around the league. He is. Let's get your thoughts on it. Tanner says, I give Zach Wilson this year and next. If he doesn't cut it during the next 2 years, the Jets will get rid of him. Wilson, Lawrence, and Fields went to bad organizations. Time will tell. I think Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence is showing signs now.
Mm-hmm.
He made some throws over the weekend where you're like, oh, so you are in there somewhere. You're starting to see that he is capable. I think Justin Fields, I don't know what the situation with him is in that he takes an awful lot of hits that don't get called.
Yeah.
Like he took a massive hit, upper body, head area. After he slid, they did not throw the flag. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But he makes nice throws. He's got the arm, but their offensive line is not good. I think they're going to run the ball quite well. Their offensive line's not good. They have tight ends. They have a really good, Darnell Mooney is a really good wide receiver, but he just takes so many huge shots that,
yes.
I mean, I don't even know how you do that. Josh Levern says, isn't Zach Wilson in a similar system Pete Carroll runs in Seattle? Game manager, quarterback, run, pass. Not at all. I think they are counting on Zach Wilson to throw the football a lot. I think now, do they have the weapons to do that? We can argue about that. Do they have the offensive line? We can argue about all that. They're counting on on Zach Wilson to carry that team.
Yeah.
They drafted him to be a prolific performer. So I would not put them in the same category even. Fat Jesus says Zach Wilson is Matt Leinart. We'll see. Tom Basilius says Zach needs to try not to get hurt and wait for his contract to expire. For what?
Yeah, I think you can't do as an athlete, generally speaking. I don't think you can be like, well, I'm going to try not to get hurt and then wait for my contract to expire. That's just not how the world works.
Yep. Jason Dent says Trey Lance will prove you wrong, Monty. I hope so, because the 49ers desperately need him to be good.
And that's what the league's about, proving people wrong, But I just honest to God, I would put the percentages of Trey Lance proving someone wrong above Zach Wilson proving someone wrong, just based on the two situations. I think Zach is a better quarterback than Trey Lance, but the situation will not permit him to prove some people wrong, in my opinion.
And I think, man, again, I just look up and down. The numbers.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at these quarterbacks and you go, you either have it or you don't. There are very few situations. Mitchell Trubisky will never be a star in this league. He won't. I'm just trying to think of a quarterback.
But see, I think a lot of people would say, Mitch is an interesting example. We've talked about Mitch a lot on this show. I think a lot of people would say, hey, he played really good for what he had to work with. You went to the playoffs with Mitch, man. He did some things. Now, again, to your point, had a great defense, right? Really, really good defense. And you're a kick away from the NFC Championship game. Literally a kick away, something out of his control. So that, Mitch is a really good example of a guy that maybe he is one of those rare cases where he gets to the Steelers and that situation works better for him.
But isn't this the Kirk Cousins argument?
Yeah, well, Cousins, dude.
But but again, I'll go to my grave. The late great Napa Mike and I used to battle about Kirk Cousins on the radio in Phoenix all the time. I'm telling you, Kirk Cousins, put him in the right situation. Kirk Cousins can play the game. And my bar has always been 2-1 touchdown interceptions, 4,000 yards. That's just I look at the numbers on a guy like Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins throws for 4,221 yards last year. 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, and we're saying he sucks. I'm telling you, that guy can play. That guy can play. I look at...
What are some of the other names? Yeah, who else are you looking at there?
I think if you look at the guys... Let's start with the guys under 4,000 yards. Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's done. Looking at him in Indianapolis, he looks done to me. Last year, 3,900 yards. Look at some of the younger guys. Mac Jones last year, 3,801 yards. 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions.
Too many interceptions.
Mac Jones can play in this league, though.
Yeah.
Mac Jones can play in this league. I look at Kyler Murray, 3,787 yards, 24 touchdowns, 10 picks.
Yeah. Don't love the 10 picks. Would love to see that be 6 or 7 picks, but those are not bad numbers.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think the problem for Kyler was that playoff game where he just got embarrassed. That was the issue.
Ryan Tannehill. 3,700 yards, 21 touchdowns, 14 interceptions.
See again. How much of a credit or a discount, if you will, does he get for being a Titan? That's pretty good in Titan land.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
5,300 yards, 43 touchdowns, 12 picks.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a question. Justin Herbert, 5,014 yards, 38 touchdowns, 15 picks. I'd hit that.
I know. You're a big Justin Herbert guy.
Matt Stafford, 48-86, 41 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. No question. Patty Mahomes, 4,800 yards, 37 touchdowns, 13 picks. No question. Like, these numbers are ridiculous. Look at Derek Carr, 4,800 yards, 23 touchdowns, 14 picks.
For the Raiders, that's pretty damn good, dude.
What's he like in an elite offense with a great offensive line? I don't know. We don't know.
But so this is my point. This is what I've been trying to get to the whole conversation. For guys like this, we're willing to say, hey, situation, right?
Because his performance, Derek Carr's performance, is so above and beyond the rest of the talent on the team.
Okay, so let me ask you this then, and I'm being sincere with this. If Zach Wilson threw for 3,000 yards even, let's say, nothing crazy, 3,000 yards, let's say 25 touchdowns, 15 picks, right? More picks, but pretty good year. Would we then be able to say, hey, okay, yeah, if you got to this situation, you're probably 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 10 picks? So we just need to see him. We need to see him produce at a certain level, even if the situation sucks, is basically what we're saying.
Yeah, Zach
has to be a baseline.
at no time last year looked like a franchise-level quarterback, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Zach Wilson at no time looked like a franchise-level quarterback.
Yeah.
That's
is Deshaun on that list? Deshaun Watson? Is he on that list?
No, he didn't play last year.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And he still got signed in a fully guaranteed contract.
And he's not going to play this year.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I look at, but this is the Taysom Hill conversation.
Man,
Taysom Hill's not an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, is he an NFL tight end? Yeah, I think he is. Is he a phenomenal special teams player? Yes, he is. Can he play in this league? Yes, he can. Can he be a quarterback in this league? No, he cannot. It's not good enough. Jameis Winston, not good enough. I mean, I look at some of the people at the bottom of this list: Darnold, Daniel Jones, Tua, Lamar Jackson, 2,800 yards, 16 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. I'm not paying you.
How many rushing yards?
I am not paying you. Well, you just interrupted me when I was going to say, I'm not paying you to run the football. You're my quarterback. I need you to stand in the pocket and deliver the football. And as far as rushing goes, I mean, it's not even close. Lamar Jackson's 1,000-yard rusher, I'm pretty sure, right? I'd have to look at his numbers in total. But he's not good enough to throw the ball. I'm not paying you franchise quarterback money. Sorry, dude. I would, if I'm Baltimore, I'm not doing that. I go and make a deal. And the next offseason, I'm trading him. Simple as that. Like, you've got to throw for 4,000 yards. And for every one interception you throw, you got to throw 2 touchdowns.
767 rushing yards last year. 2020 at 1,000.
That's amazing for a running back. I'm not paying Lamar Jackson to be a running back. I'm not. I don't want car accidents every night for my quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm just not doing it. I am not doing it. All right, let's see. NY Jazz fan says, love talking football. Can't wait for the season to officially start. Me too. Ken Williams says, he don't change plays even if there are 8 guys in the box. LOL. He had hand the ball off. Okay. Scammer Trolling says, I'd like to welcome myself to the chat this morning. Scammer, good to see you.
Welcome.
Good to see you. Steve Peterson says, I guess this is my issue with the NFL. You give these rookies huge contracts without proving themselves. What motivation now do these guys have to better themselves? They've already got a ton of money. I think that's a great question.
That's a great point. I think that's completely fair.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Let's see. Rafael Nunez says, of course he wants to leave. Who in their right mind wants to play in Utah? I'm going to leave that there. I'm just going to leave that there. Rand says Dolphins messed up not taking Herbert. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Absolutely, they did. There is no doubt about that. D9 says, new here, just saying hi. Hi, D9.
What's up, bud?
Good to see you. Connor Curlis. Don't watch a lot of football. Who should I watch this season if I get into it more? The Los Angeles Chargers of San Diego County.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends what you're looking for if you're not a big football guy. What I would tell you if you want entertainment, yeah, I mean, you want to watch the California teams. You want to watch, definitely you want to watch the Broncos if you can. Like if you have the ticket, Sunday ticket, I'd be watching, do some homework, figure out who the good quarterbacks in the league are and watch those teams because that's going to be entertaining football.
Yep, 2 hours deep, just about 8:30 Mountain Time on the show, and we got to tell you about our good friends at Barbecue Pit Stop. Hey, Congratulations to Lauren Miller, listener of our show, won their weekly Traeger giveaway this week. I'm telling you, they hook you up every time you go into a barbecue pit stop. Any of their 5 locations, Lehigh, Layton, Logan, Murray, and St. George. Now, there is a box on the counter for you to win a trip for 2 to see BYU and Notre Dame in the Shamrock Series in Las Vegas. We're giving you 2 nights at the Palms Casino Resort and Hotel. We're giving you 2 tickets to the game and a $250 gas card to get you there. The only way you can enter, go to Barbecue Pit Stop. Fill out a slip, put it on the in the box. Join us in the Lehigh location September 17th. We're going to smoke a bunch of wings, watch a bunch of pizza, or smoke some wings and stuff with pizza on it. Yes! And watch BYU and Oregon play in Eugene at Autzen Stadium. We're going to have a watch party for the BYU Oregon game. And then at halftime of that game at the Barbecue Pit Stop in Lehigh, we're going to draw the winner of that trip for 2 to go see the Shamrock Series in Vegas between BYU and Notre Dame. Thanks to our friends at Barbecue Pit Stop. And I will again say, had great smoked pizza last night.
Yes.
On our Traeger, Ironwood 885. I'm a Traeger guy. I'm a smoker guy now, right? You can get that exact smoker at Barbecue Pit Stop. You can get all the spices and rubs and sauces at Barbecue Pit Stop. Check them out online, bbqpitstop.com. They're good dudes as well. You walk into that store, let's say you buy a smoker and you want to do a brisket, but you don't know how. You can call any of the Barbecue Pit Stops in Lehigh, Layton, Logan, Murray, and St. George. And you could say, hey, man, I'm about to throw a brisket on. What should I do? How should I spice this? Do I need to brine it? How long do I need to let it rest? You can do all of that on the phone with the guys at Barbecue Pit Stop. Check them out online, bbqpitstop.com, or go into any of their 5 locations to enter trip to win. But seriously, come and see us September 17th.
Yes.
We would love to have a huge turnout there. We're going to have a bunch of wings. It's going to be amazing. Going to have some pizza as well. It'll be awesome.
Yes.
So come watch us. Rance says Utah, Florida will be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Mahmoud Diabate is looking for revenge on the Gators. I can't wait for college football to start. I'm actually really excited. By the way, in 3 weeks when college football starts, we'll be doing this show in Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah, we're going to be in Hawaii for 2 weeks, starting the first weekend of September. Looking forward to that. Big Dog O-Town says, I've been saying my boys should start Huntley. He can run he can run when needed, but he looks for the pass. First love Lamar's athleticism, but I need a traditional quarterback. Just saying. Yes, you do.
Shout out to Mobamba.
Let's see. Ken Williams says, you got to watch the team every week, Monty. Kirk is not that good. He's still worried about bad plays that he made in college. Let's hope these new coaches can teach him to read a defense at the line. Do you mean Kirk Cousins? No, not doing it. Not doing it. Nope. Talking with Raphael podcast
On BYU Radio.
on PBS. Secretary of State Joe Smoke My Balls joins us now. I'm kidding. I just think the name Talking with Raphael podcast. Excuse me. Talking with Raphael podcast is just it's the greatest podcast name ever.
Yeah.
Greatest podcast name ever. Ken Williams says, great show, guys. Appreciate it. Arlington Bear says, BBQ Pit Stop Party sounds fun, but it does not fit into my cut program. Will you have any rabbit food?
Whoa. It definitely does fit into the cut program. Are you unfamiliar with eating wings that are smoked and not fried, that are, not terrible for you?
That is.
It fits into the program. Come on.
Tanner Plummer says, man, I wish I could come September 17th, but sadly I have to work that day. Request it off. It's like a month away.
It's called 3 letters, PT&O. Come on.
It's called a month away. It's like, who is blowing up my phone right now? Good guy. Oh, you know what it is? My wife ordered from the Apple store.
What did she order from the Apple store?
AirTags, because she lost her tripod. So now she is trying to not ever have that happen again.
We're getting somewhere.
Bought another one.
Another one.
It's
so frustrating, isn't it?
It is.
When something just disappears and
it
you
is
like there's no reason for it. There's no. I think Mrs. Monty would like to join the show here.
It doesn't matter what Mrs. Monty wants.
Okay.
Hello, Mrs. Monty.
It's thievery.
Somebody stole your
I
tripod.
don't know.
You stole money from my bank account to buy another one.
I haven't bought another one yet. I'm like, sure.
You still have not
that
bought.
if
Will you
I
just
keep
buy another
digging
one?
for it, if I keep looking for it, it's gonna reappear.
Okay, so Mrs. Monty's
gonna
birthday
reappear.
is September 5th.
Okay.
I bought her like a $36,000 rocket ship
And
worth
it
of
is
a camera
pretty amazing.
lens
Yeah, it is pretty
for her
amazing.
camera.
Yeah.
She does not have a tripod because she lost one, and now she will not buy it. It's a $250 flipping tripod for a $1,000 camera lens.
Yeah.
Buy the tripod. buy the. You make good money.
I don't lose things.
Well, apparently you
Like-
do. Okay, you've lost A, your virginity, and B, your tripod. I'm going to say you lose things.
Y'all feel me?
All right, let's move on. This feels awkward now. Fernando Tatis or Joe Rogan?
I guess Joe Rogan.
All right.
I guess.
San Diego Padres shortstop Fernando Tatis has been suspended